Welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. My name is Michael, and in this video I'll show you how to create this product manipulation poster in Adobe Photoshop. So let's get right into it. First, we have to create our document with the dimensions in pixels, in inches, 3.6 by 4, 300 resolution, 8 bits, I feel concrete. I'll drag this image onto my canvas, expand it by clicking on these controls at the edge. Just click on drag, expand it by using these sizing controls at the edges of your image. So position it just within the canvas. Make sure that you fill the canvas up. So I'm going to click on the check mark. Next, I'm going to make a duplicate of this by hitting Ctrl J on my keyboard. Select these parts of the image and click cut filter. I'm going to expand my selection by 2 pixels. Click on OK. Mask it and mask that section. So invert the mask by clicking on Ctrl I to invert the mask. So I'm going to drag this image onto my canvas. So just position it and join it below next image, just to give a feeling. So this is just to add an image of a spring fall just behind the loose, or to just do like a perception of a spring at the back of a beach. So you position this and place it relative to the shrubs or the leaves. So to transform your image is Ctrl T. Ctrl T to transform images in Photoshop. When you got your P button, you set these controls for resizing at the edges of your image. So now I'm going to mask out some regions of this layer. So I'm putting a brush on the layer so remove some ghosting area that looks like white on the image. So let's position the second image in another way. I'll clicking on joining my image, trying to see where it can perfectly fit. And I'll mask out this image when I'm pleased with how it is positioned. I think this is okay for me. I'm also click cover brush to by hitting the B key on my keyboard. I'll just mask out all this region. let's try and resize this. Add a coarse adjustment layer. Keep it to the layer below by hitting the icon and drag the mountains down so as to make this a bit darker or add contrast. I go to the blues. Yeah. So drag the shadows up. Which as you can see, as I'm dragging the shadows up, the blues are getting stronger, but they're not what I'm looking for. So I'll be dragging down the blues at the highlights and adding a bit of gray to my image. So I'll drag it down a bit at the midtones also. Go to my grid channel, drag this down. So see the before and after applying this coarse layer. I'm trying to make this image blend with the other image. I was trying to give it a cool atmosphere. So let's drag our product onto our canvas. I'm going to drag my product onto Photoshop. So it's right just below this layer. So I'm going to drag this up and position it somewhere around here. Control T to transform or resize. I will select all the layers and group them. So now I'm going to do that's Control plus G to group. I'm going to resize the entire group. So excluding the product is not in the good folder. So just my background, I'm going to reposition it and select my different products. So scale it up. Control T to resize or transform. Then drag your icon points to the bottom of the perfume and scale it up relative to the position of the icon point. So when you're scaling it up, scale it up to the position of that icon point. I'm going to create a new layer right below the perfume layer. So turn my brush to black. I'm going to shrink my brush like this to make it flat or horizontal. And I want to create a shadow at the base of the product. I'm not going to tap this one. My opacity is at 100 and I freeze at 100. So just click on it and you see the shadows. Base shadow or contact shadow forming at the bottom of the product. Just move it. So I'm doing now up and now I'm using my arrow keys to shift this product up and down. So we'll just add more base shadows. Boss tapos. So add another adjustment layer, because of the other adjustment layer above that particular layer. Drag this down to make the barrels, to make it darker. this is just to blend it with the background. So a separate color adjustment layer for the spring fall and another separate adjustment layer for the grasses. So I'm going to reduce my fill and my opacity. I'm going to brush over here just to make this region a bit lighter. So the color adjustment layer will not be affecting all the region that I'm brushing over. So anywhere I apply my brush will be brighter than the rest. Now time to brush over some parts for the image. I will click on the adjustment layer, the brightness or contrast adjustment layer. Do the brightness to about this percentage. Then control right to reverse my mask. And I'm just going to create my pattern like this and I flow. I'm just brush over this particular region. So because as the product is standing here, there'll be more shadows over here due to the product affecting the incoming ray of light. So all these regions will be darker. So at the top here, I will brush over there to make it more dark. So I'm going to go this, create another adjustment layer right above the perfume image, so which is the exposure adjustment layer. Drawing the exposure to the left, so this means the product appear darker. So I'm going to click on my mask, Ctrl I to invert my mask. So I'm going to go to my brush tool, or work with my Gen tool, by hitting G on keyboard and just drag from bottom to the top like this. So the effect of this layer is just affecting the region that is a white, black, height, and white review. So based on our layer marks, the effect of this exposure layer is affecting just the base of the perfume product. I'm going to brush over all this video to make them darker. So this gives an illusion that light is not able to reach all these parts, and this part will be very dark due to the contact shadows. Just click on that adjustment layer, the color adjustment layer. So drag down the mutants, or to drag up the mutants. Oh, this also creates this will be one that will create an highlights on the products. Click below to layer below. Contrary to that, just brush all over where you want the highlights to be. So brushing over here will create some highlights and ensure that there's a ray of light hitting the product at this particular region. So I want to make all these places darker. So the second is adjustment layer. This color adjustment layer is controlling the shadows, and the one above it is controlling the highlights. So I definitely brush over this. The exposure of each part of the brushing over keeps reducing and reducing, so making it darker. Let's make all the trees darker also. So go to my color adjustment layer, control the highlights. I want to brush over this particular video. create a new layer, go to my brush tool and look for a array of brush lights. I'll add this brush in the assets download link. So you say the brush file and the asset download link. So just go to your Photoshop, import this brush and make use of it. So I'm going to change the color of this to a light yellow, or a golden yellow color. I want to grab my slider just above this and hit and select that yellow color. So I'm going to place my full opacity to back to 100 and put the blending mode on screen. Grab this below the layer, adjust the way, then add the Gaussian blur, a bit of Gaussian blur to the layer. So I think about 25 pixels is okay. I'll pick up okay. So we use the opacity to about 50%, just to have a bit of reflection or light source coming from the right part of our canvas. So I'm going to create another layer just above the curves adjustment layer. So this layer is being clipped to the perfume product, so it only affects the perfume layer. So I'm going to put my brush opacity at 79 and the flow at 100. So just to create a bit of reflections or light hitting the perfume product. So put this on screen. So create another layer and put this on. I'll put my brush color to white and just to add more reflections on the perfume products, and just gently brush against the sides. I think this is perfect like this. Next, I'll group all these layers into one group and name its perfume. Well, click on my pen tool and just trace along a path, create a path on my canvas. So this will be the shadows that has been caused from the product. So due to the reflection of rays of light striking the product, there will be some shadows that will be formed at this region, which I will select and make a selection of it, apply an adjustment layer and create those shadows. So I'll use the brightness or contrast adjustment layer. Use the brightness to be very, very dark, making this particular spot very, very dark. And I will blow out the mask. I'll apply some from feather to the mask. So this will make the sharpening not strong but have soft edges. So I want to make use of this selection again. So I clicked Ctrl and selected my layer masks to make the selection of the mask, but since it's been feathered, I'll have to put the feather back to 0 so I can make the accurate selection of the path I drew before making the shadow. So hit Control and click on the layer mask icon. Then I'm going to feather it out back to about 34 pixels. 3 pixels rather. So I just hit Ctrl H to hide my selection. So to show or hide your selection, why is it being active? Just hit Ctrl H. So I'm going to hit Ctrl H back to show my selection. So create an adjustment layer, a curves adjustment layer, and drag the shadows to the bottom, and also increase the feather. So this creates a bit of a more realistic shadow. As you can see, those particular spots that I trace out my pen to are darker than the other region. I'm going to add a bit of cyan in that region. So by dragging the blues down at the highlights and adding some blues in the shadows. So I'm going to drag this image onto Photoshop. Just some particular shrubs and leaves. So just to add more elements to my composition, and I'll apply some adjustments. I need to apply some adjustment layers, sort of color and so on. So I'll click on OK. This is my check mark. I'll click on OK. So group, I'm going to group I'm going to make a group. I'm going to group these adjustment layers.